Welcome to the She Knows Daily Dish. I'm Shay Pausa. Today in parenting, I'm so excited about our guest. Dr. Lynne Kenney is a pediatric psychologist and she's known as the family coach. But she is not just a professional, she's a real mom. So I asked her about what to do if your child is becoming the B word, a brat, and what to do about it. Take a look. Today's kids, cell phones, video games, expensive vacations, and clothes, indulgences many of us never dreamed of as children, with the unfortunate side effect of often turning our kids into selfish brats. So what drives us to spoil our kids?
Many of the parents that I interact with who spoil their kids do it because, one, they don't want to spend time with their children. Two, they're too stressed out to really engage and be present with their children. And three, they don't say no because they're afraid their children will not love them.
So how do we know if we've spoiled our child?
The am I spoiling my child inventory goes like this. Is my child more interested in stuff than people? Do things and possessions matter more than friendship? Is the first thing that they ask for when they want to be comforted a thing and not a person? What I tell parents is, let's stop buying our kids all sorts of stuff and start relating to them and doing things with them. There is no greater toy for your child than you.
And what can we do?
You know, the fastest thing I do with parents is I put them back at the top of the hierarchy. You know, we have too many children who think they're the alpha dogs in families, and it's not good for the kids. So I actually draw the hierarchy and I tell the parents, listen, you're on top of the hierarchy, you drive and design this family, and that's good for your children. So one of the strategies that we have in the Family Coach Method is creating a 30-item family activity list. And when things go well in your family, when your children get a green light or do as expected, you say, you know what, you get a caught being good. I take a pretend sticker, put it right on the shoulder, and I say, you pick something off the family activity list. And I actually created a 30-item list of very, very tiny things so that parents could start doing things with their kids instead of buying stuff for their kids, so that they could actually hike with their children, play a 10-minute game, play cards, make a batch of cookies. You can do activities with your children in very short time frames that are very reinforcing and powerful for the relationship. So that's the important thing. If you don't want to spoil your children, start spending more mindful time with them and buy them less stuff.
And who is the parent spoiling their children?
The typical father who spoils their child with material things is the father who's so busy climbing the ladder that he thinks he has no time to be in a relationship. And he believes that going to the arcade and spending $50 or taking the child, where else would they go? Taking the child to an amusement park is actually having a relationship. But the relationship actually happens in small bites. A relationship happens in 3 minutes. The relationship is when your child falls and you're on a conference call and you put the mute button on, you step away from your computer and tend to your child. That's where the relationship is. It doesn't have to happen at Dave & Buster's. The mother who spoils her child is working a lot on her own image and therefore not being available to relate to the child. So she is a mother who is spending too much time at the salon, too much time at the gym, too much time choosing her clothing, her outfits, and not taking the time to be really present with her children.
Now, this is a tough one since most moms feel they don't do enough for themselves already. So how does a mom find balance in taking care of herself and her children?
Well, taking care of yourself begins inside. Being your own best friend, I always tell moms, is the first step. I love the spa. I love buying new clothing. I'm not saying don't do that. But we have to get to a place where we're finding balance within, not only on the outside.
Dr. Kenney says that it's easy to evaluate our situation and make healthy changes.
The way that I do it with families is I say, you design and create your life. So it's time to lead your life instead of being led by it. And what we begin with is your family mission statement. What kind of family are you and why do you exist? Then we move on to your value set. What really matters to you? What matters to your children? And we start to engage in dialogue and communication and thinking and even creating, drawing, mind mapping. It's fun to take out the markers and write it all down. I think that's the first step to evaluating, am I living the kind of life that I want to live? Do I live in accordance with my values, and do I live in accordance with my mission?
We'll have Dr. Kenney back with more on tips to raising a loving and happy child. In the meantime, you can get more information at lynnekenney.com. And of course, you can always find parenting tips and ideas right here on sheknows.com. I'm Shay Pausa. Thanks for joining me today. We sure appreciate it. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching She Knows TV. Look for more of the Daily Dish at sheknows.com.